Hey guys, and welcome to the Parody Podcast show hosted by me, Rachel Evans, aka the Human Barbie. So let's get straight into today's episode. I'm going to talk about 2025. Happy New Year to you guys, and welcome to 2025. I've never been this excited for a new year to start. So my ambitions for 2025 I will keep close to my chest. But as you guys who follow my journey in beauty and fitness and health know that I plan to compete on stage as a bikini athlete in the Masters division in 2025. So this year, I aim to get on stage probably in the summer. So to all of my followers who follow my fitness journey, you may have seen some Instagram gym fitness updates talking about how I intend to compete as a bikini athlete. So today I've weighed in at 51.8 kilos and I'm very lean and I'm building muscle. With my experience as a bikini athlete, I now want to take it to another level, compete at the age of 55 because I'm 55 this year. And I always said I'll compete again in my 50s because I won a show at the age of 43 bikini model champion. And I was in the over 35 masters category. But now, many years later, decades later, we've got masters divisions over 40. So I'm hoping I might compete in the over 50s. That would be perfect. So you can see all my fitness and gym updates on my Instagram stories as well. So another thing we're going to cover in today's podcast is going to be beauty and health and diet updates, but also my vision for 2025. I definitely see myself magically appearing on a TV show, and I'm not sure which one or what it'll be, but I definitely feel it's going to happen. I really believe I'm Barbie on the search for Ken, and one day I'm going to find my Ken. So in the meantime, I'll have fun and I'll date and whatever, but I really want to find true love. Somebody who is literally like Ken in the Barbie movie, where Ken is the biggest cheerleader for Barbie and supports everything she does and gives her unconditional love because I believe I deserve it. And you know what? Everybody deserves true love if that's what you want. And this Barbie is still on the search for Ken and hasn't found him yet. But who knows? 2025 is going to be my year. I really believe it. So in the meantime, I've got great friends and I just want to give a shout out to all of my friends. You know who you are. Thank you for continuing to support my journey and be there when I need you the most. And I just want to say also that if you are in January 2025, with feelings of being down or depressed, or you get seasonal affective disorder, which is like the grey skies and it gets dark early, I just want to give you hope. Just remember that in mid-January, it starts getting a bit more lighter. And then by end of February, we get a lot more light in the evenings. And then by March, we're starting to head towards the spring. And then it means we can go out in the evenings, we can go and enjoy the country walks without thinking it's getting dark at 4:00 at night. So we've got lots to look forward to. So just keep your chin up and keep going and never give up. That's my motto. Talking of which, my middle name is Never Give Up. So from a young age, I struggled with challenges and I don't like the word problems. So I always overcame life hurdles and I honor my obstacles. And that way my spiritual side of my facing my challenges is something bigger and better than it would be if I didn't have a spiritual side, if that makes sense. So by allowing myself to take responsibility for all the challenges that my life faces, then I can jump over the hurdles easier. If you blame people, which I don't, or if you look at life like a problem, how are you going to find a way to jump over those hurdles? So as we are now on January 2025, I want to share with you guys, stay positive. It doesn't mean toxic positivity. It means stay positive with all of your hopes and dreams. And no matter how hard it is, never give up. So what we're going to talk about is my gym workouts now. So as I said earlier, I've weighed in this morning, January the 1st, 2025 at 51.8 kilos. I'm bang on target. I promised myself New Year's Day, I'd wake up and I would weigh 51.8 kilos because I know what I'm doing. And I'm also studying. So I'm always studying and applying the nutrition and gym training principles and workouts and diet programs to my body. And that's why I know I listen to my body and I know what my weight is without weighing myself. I can feel it. I'm just instinctive about my body. It's like intuitive eating. You know when to stop, you know what's too much, and you know when to say no. So last night I had New Year's Eve with my friend Steve and we watched a movie. So I will take my rice cakes. I will take my protein and oat bar. I'll have a banana and rice cake as a snack. And I didn't eat any rubbish. So that way this morning, I'm like 51.8 kilos. So stay focused on your diet and fitness training. Now, my training program is brutal. It's very hard. So literally New Year's Eve, I was in the gym and I did 1 hour That's 60 minutes on the Stairmaster level 7. And guys, it kills me, you know. And then I did a shoulder, back and buys workout, strength training with weights. Boy, did I wake up a bit stiff this morning. So I didn't train today because I did a triple workout on New Year's Eve. Anyway, so I got my weight exactly where it needs to be for January 1st. And that's where I am now today. So for the rest of the week, I will still be on a cutting diet because I've got a photo shoot coming up, a bikini photo shoot. And Anne, Bikini Love Anne, is making a bikini handmade to measure for me, and I'll be promoting that in one of my podcasts coming up as well. So you might have seen the photo shoot that I did with Paul White recently, and in my previous podcast I did mention that I will talk about the model poses, so we'll cover that as well because it's part of my Barbie lifestyle, my Human Barbie lifestyle, being a model and knowing your poses and always working in my home studio on photo shoot ideas, angles, outfits, you name it. So we'll touch on that shortly. So my diet's going good, my nutrition's going good, and my workouts are going great. So I've also got the Ab King Pro. It's not sponsored, and I do 50, 50, 50 abs decline. So my head is where my elbow is, and then I go like this. So that way it pulls the lower abs and I get my oblique lines coming in. So that's a really good thing for me to do because I'm working on my abs now. And I had to strip the body fat first, keep building the muscle. My shoulders are growing nicely. I'm working more on my biceps now. I don't work out triceps too much. And I'm doing glutes, hams, and quads as well. I don't really train my quads because I don't want to build heavy calves. So there's different body parts at different times of my training season that I will work out. So right now I'm really focused on getting a 6-pack. It'll probably end up being a 4-pack, but hopefully a 6-pack. Anyway, a lot of my friends who are in fitness always inspire me. Thank you for all of the help that you guys keep giving me. But I am self-motivated and I self-train as well. So I'm really studying now. I want to study anatomy and physiology. I want to learn a bit more about the body in depth, see if I can pass an exam one day, 2025, my goals. I'd love to be able to pass an exam. But again, I have to conquer my dyslexia and the fear of thinking, can I retain the information? Because I learn visually. I've got a high visual spatial. So I will overcome that life hurdle, that life challenge by watching videos and memorizing things as pictures rather than reading books. But I do have a book and I don't like to write things down because I can't remember that way. So I do it through my ear and eyes and memorize everything I can and then put it into practice. Because if you apply the principle to yourself, you can remember it better. So that's a little bit about my gym, diet and training update. I'm away in this morning, 51.8 kilos. Yay! Anyway, so I want to talk about model poses now and angles. If you're doing photo shoots as a fitness model, you want to do front facing, side profile and rear poses. But if you're doing like red carpet, which are about the outfits, then you just do straight on to camera shots, yeah? And a little twist, a torso twist to nip in your waist and show the outfit and your face in the light. But when you're doing body shots, they light below the neck. So for my next photo shoot, I've got to light the body to show my 6-pack and my muscles. And then I'll do facial shots. So my face is going to be in the dark a little bit in shadow, which does not look good. It's quite aging. But when you light the body, the face has got to have a particular light on it. So you either like the face or you like the body. So when you're working with a photographer, say to them what kind of light you want, whether you want to be a bit overexposed, underexposed, or just like light or body parts, to be lit. So it's all about lighting, guys. And when you're paying money for a photo shoot, you really want to get it right. So just get your money's worth by knowing what you want and prepare for your photo shoots in advance. Anyway, so that's a little bit about that. So we create angles like triangles, arms over the head and arms on your hip and shoulders back. Yeah. Remember all of those key things and just relaxed facial expressions, really. So I will go into depth, I think, in the next podcast about model posing, because by then I'll have 2 photo shoots to talk about instead of just the one. So I'm going to wait to go into detail. I'm going to wait for my bikini photo shoot and then I'll do loads. The previous photo shoot was lingerie and Christmas, and the next one's going to be bikini. And hopefully it'll be in a swimming pool, but if not, it'll be in a studio. So yeah, that's something coming up in one of the next episodes of the podcast. So I just want to talk about how you create a positive mindset if you're working out and you feel tired. So we all go to work, we all train at weird hours of the morning or the evening when we're tired. So when I'm exhausted and I really do not want to go to the gym, I'm not motivated. However, I keep telling myself, whether I'm coming home from London meetings on the train, exhausted, thinking I've got to get off this train and I've got to go to the gym, pick up my car, go to the gym. I don't feel like it. That's called lack of motivation. And then I tell myself, discipline. What's the difference? Discipline is do it anyway. And that's the thing. It's like Tony Robbins said, it's not about being positive. People misunderstand Tony Robbins. It's about discipline and focus. Motivation is something completely different. And it took me years to understand that. Your feelings and your motivation is not even relevant to doing your workouts. Just get in that gym and do it. So again, Ashley Cutwasser is one of my favorite bikini athletes. She's Olympia bikini champion and she's amazing. She's like top of everything she does in the fitness industry. She's very focused. And I listened to the Bikini and the Brain podcast with Coach Adam and Ashley Cutwasser, and I've mentioned it before in podcast. So it's very much a part of my day. Each day I will listen to something over and over again. And one of the things that she said was discipline. It's all about discipline. And that's when the penny dropped. It's not about being motivated. And I thought, God, all these years I've been saying, get motivation, how to stay motivated. I'm thinking, no, discipline. Do it when you don't want to do it. And then 5 minutes or 10 minutes into your workout, then you get the motivation. Because you're doing it, you're motivated because you start feeling euphoric. You get that. There's something called the runner's high after about 10 minutes of running or something. I think one of the housewives, Kyle Richards, said she gets runner's high after 5 or 10 minutes of running on the treadmill. I get Stairmaster high after about 10 minutes on the Stairmaster. I'm like, oh my God, I've got another 20 minutes. That's if I'm doing half an hour, or I've got an hour to do. So I start thinking, oh my God. But as the muscles get activated and as my body wakes up to knowing how hard this training is, I then feel the motivation coming through me because it's like an adrenaline rush. And that's how I share the enjoyment of discipline and motivation. I don't think anyone enjoys discipline. They like motivation or they love motivation because it makes them feel good, but discipline is completely something different. It's a part of your brain which is saying you're going to do it anyway, and you're going to push even harder because you don't want to do it. And that's really how I'm going into 2025. That's my mindset, focus and discipline. Tonight, it's late. I'm filming this podcast. Everyone's relaxing. It's New Year's Day. And I just thought, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to film the podcast because it's discipline. And no matter how much I want to sit and watch a movie or relax, because that's what everyone's doing on New Year's Day, I should have filmed this a bit earlier, but I didn't get the opportunity because I've had things to do with my car and seeing friends and family, and I prioritized that. So the discipline is whatever happens, I'm going to do it. And here we are. Yay. So I also do batch produce my content. So as the studio producer, I'm a host producer. I use Riverside, not sponsored. It's an online recording studio. And I try not to edit in post too much of my podcast. So I'll just cut out things where the AI will cut out pauses or things that I don't want to talk about. So I do recommend that if you use Riverside, it's really accessible for you to start a podcast. And so again, with the motivation, if you are motivated to start a podcast one day, like me, you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it too. Just record, hit record. And you're going to make mistakes. I make loads of mistakes. Like I've got a little bit of background noise, but the AI will cut it out. And if you use studios like Riverside, they're really good at it. And yeah, it takes a bit of discipline to study the program. But you know what? You motivate yourself that way because you're constantly learning and evolving, and you're changing your mindset in the process because you're elevating your standards. Now, talking of elevation, how do you go from not working out to working out? Well, you have to have a plan. Write down a plan. It just means that you're going to set high standards so that you can aim for the stars. You know what I mean? That's that you aim high and you'll still do something good. So I'm aiming now for 3 to 4 workouts a week. I'll do 3 full body. At the moment, that works for me very well because I used to do a 4 or 5 day split. But as I've dropped the weight, I can do full body, which does really work for me at the moment. It might change later on, but we'll see how that goes. So yeah, it's all good because I do like to go to the gym as much as I can. But sometimes if I'm too tired, I've just got to fit in a double or triple workout, which is what I did yesterday, New Year's Eve. I worked out 1 hour on the Stairmaster. I did shoulders, back and buys. And then I was like, oh my God, I'm so depleted. I could barely walk down the stairs. Luckily, I park outside the gym, so that's good. Yeah, so when you've got a plan, you can act upon it. You can enforce that plan. What's the word I'm looking for? You can put it into action. But if you don't write things down, how are you going to create that mood board? So another thing that I'm going to do for 2025 is get my mood board and put it in the office here in the studio and just create pictures of things that I've got. But my mood board is in my head because, like I said, I've got a high visual spatial and I create images in my head. So I don't always have to have them printed around the home. but I've got my iPhone diary and I've got written diary and notes like these. So I've got all of these notes here. I'll just show you in my studio. I write loads of things down and then I memorize it and then I throw it away. So do what you've got to do to create a plan. Always prep. It's all about prepping. It's like meal prep. If you do meal prep, you're going to stick to your diet rather than get home late and say, I'm too tired to cook. I'm just going to eat whatever. So I do my meal prep, but a lot of it is fresh and I'll take 5 or 10 minutes to cook it. And I do pre-prepped meal prepping as well, like chicken salad, which is really good. I don't use condiments, for example, because that adds loads of calories and sugar, and I use sweetener. So little things like diet tips like that are, if you know and you prep your diet in advance and you've got them ready, you're never going to reach for the wrong stuff, right? Again, prep everything. It works out in the long run. Just to actually find the right prep routine for your food and for your diet and your meal prepping. So don't give up. Again, never give up. Always keep going, because you'll find your rhythm and you'll find that along the way you get better. Start with small steps. Don't take huge steps because that's going to lead to failure. Just take baby steps and then lengthy steps and then leaps and jumps. And then before you know it, you're running. Prepping and planning is everything for me for 2025. And I love to make plans. And I've got 10 New Year's resolutions. I'm not going to share it with you. But yeah, I definitely love doing my New Year's resolutions. Every year I check them off and make sure they're all done. And pretty much every year I do that. You have to be disciplined and focused to do it, and you can't allow people to take you off course. So say, for example, coming off course. This is another part of the podcast about discipline and prepping. So we've covered those 2 points. Now, what happens when you've got friends or family who are trying to take you off course? So I'll go to a friend's house and they know I'm in training and I'm on the diet, so I can't stay out late and I can't party. So they know that. And sometimes, it's like they'll try it on and ask me. I'm like, I'm in training. I've got the gym tomorrow. I'm not going out late. And then I'll get up in the morning, go to the gym, or in the evening after whatever I'm doing in the day. And I need my energy for that. So that's the training. Don't let anything or anyone get in the way of my training. Family or friends, no, I'm focused. Single-minded, laser-like vision. And then so I'll go and visit a friend New Year's Eve. I've got some sweets. No, I'm good, thanks, because I'll have my banana and 2 rice cakes, or I'll have my almond butter and rice cakes, or my protein oat bar. I've got my things in place of the bad stuff that people are eating because it's Christmas or New Year. I don't do that. New Year, I had chicken, salad, and a couple of things like my oat protein bar, and then a banana and rice cakes. On Christmas Eve, I had my chicken mince with rice cake and vegetables. I'm on my diet. I'm focused on eat what is right for me. So you always have to put your foot down to be focused and to be prepped and ready and facing all of your challenges. It's all part and parcel, and it's all got a synergy, and they all go together. I don't think you can have one without the other. So that's how I'm facing 2025, with absolute excitement. And I'm just so happy. In a few months, I'm going to report back to you guys and show you how far I've come, because every podcast is improvement. So that's my bikini body and also my mindset and my gym train workouts. So I'm coming to the end of the podcast, guys. Thank you for listening to me, and I hope to see you in the next episode. And in the meantime, again, Happy New Year. Lots of Barbie love and hugs from me, Rachel Evans, aka the Human Barbie. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye.